I came over here to Ipoh expecting a peaceful life, some of the best food in Malaysia, beautiful cave temples. However, to my surprise, what I found over here actually shocked me. You see, just around 30 minutes away from the quiet city lies one of the biggest controversies in Malaysia. This quiet little village was once the home of more than 2,000 people, but now most of it lays in ruin. Why? Well, because of the tin mining industry, which collapsed, you might be thinking, and you would be partially right. But the story is a bit more complex than that. You see, children played here. People call this place home. But only a couple kilometers away from here, something happened which would change their life forever. A story involving radioactive waste, protest, court battles, and a community that refuses to stay silent. Today, I am visiting Papan Heritage Village to get a better understanding of the events. Papan is located in the state of Perak, just a short drive from Ipoh. What began as a small timber settlement in 1840s, 1850s quickly transformed when tin deposits have been discovered nearby. Small fun fact actually, Papan in Malayan language means plank, reflecting the humble beginnings of the village. In 1882, Papan had grown into an organized settlement and quickly became one of Kintas Valley's most important tin mining centers. For decades, tin mining brought jobs, businesses, and prosperity. At its peak, more than 2,000 people called this village home. But by 1980s, people weren't talking about tin anymore. They were talking about something invisible, something that will change their lives forever. It's actually fascinating how some of the buildings are completely abandoned, and next to them you will see people still living there. It's a pretty interesting experience, although kind of creepy at times. Personally, I'm not sure I would like to live here, but I guess when you don't really have options, you can't be picky. Oh, look, someone is actually living here. Hello! Oh, wow. Hopefully that's gonna last at least until I'm getting out of here. And just look how nature just said, no, this is mine now. Look how these trees' roots grew over here on the wall. It's like a painting. It's kind of beautiful, actually. Oh, wow. I'm just trying to be careful not to enter someone's house. So I'm taking my time. It's so peaceful. You can hear some cars because it's actually the main road. And then it's just birds and dogs, and that's about it. Very interesting. This house in particular is quite huge, actually. And I think I found out why. In fact, it might have not been a house. I think it was maybe a restaurant or something. I think over here you can put the pots, you know, with the fire. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So it might have been a restaurant. Back in 1982, a Japanese company called Asian Rare Earth, or ARE for short, began processing rare earth minerals, which are used in electronics, magnets, batteries, and other modern technologies. However, during the processing, radioactive waste containing thorium was produced. Now, here's where the story gets complicated. If you search for this story online, you probably came across headlines calling Papan Malaysia's radioactive village. But that's an oversimplification. Few things we need to keep in mind. First, the processing plant wasn't actually in Papan. It was located in Bukit Merah, which is a few kilometers away. Second, there are several places here in Malaysia called Bukit Merah. The one that we refer to is the one in Perak. And finally, describing either Papan or Bukit Merah as radioactive villages can be misleading. The controversy wasn't that an entire village became radioactive. It centered on the handling and disposal of radioactive waste generated. The residents complained about the smell and smoke from the factory that stinks so much they said they had difficulties breathing. As if the factory alone wasn't bad enough, in 1984, the residents of Papan found out that ARE had built waste channels to a disposal site near their town, which has been chosen with government approval. Hello!
Where you come from?
Romania. Romania.
Romania?
Romania, yes, Europe, East Europe.
Chinese said Romania.
Romania.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
You not go to book house. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Go here. Left side.
Yes.
Shortcut to book house. This house.
This way.
This house.
Yeah.
We can go.
Yeah.
We can go
Yeah,
there?
go.
Thank
He
you.
open already.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you. 谢谢.
You after you come from here.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
The other side also two house. This up you can go in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you.
This one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So friendly. Although I didn't really understand what he was saying. Adventure. I think he said something about a restaurant or... I'm sorry, I really didn't understand properly. Not gonna lie, I'm not scared, but I just want to be... Hello. Just want to be careful. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything. Because I'm exploring, but... So around the city, you will find a lot of Chinese inscriptions, and even over here in the bookstore, you will see plenty of books in Chinese. That's because during the Tin Mai booming, the village was inhabited by Malay people and also a lot of Chinese who came here trying to look for a better life for themselves and for their families. This place is actually quite surprisingly well maintained. It's clean. The books are taken care of. And oh wow. Man, how old are those things? I feel like a treasure hunter right now. Discovering new things. Kinda love it, not gonna lie. What's here? Nothing. There's also stairs going upstairs. I'm a bit worried on those stairs, but I will take the risk. Slowly, slowly. Oh, this one actually looks pretty new. It's a cooking book. Unfortunately, I do not speak Chinese yet, so it's not much of a use for me. Hello. Hello, people of Papan. So peaceful. And also, I mean, this one it's understandable, but all the people that I've met over here so far are pretty old. I mean, keep in mind they're Asian, so they tend to look younger than they are, and they still look like 60 plus. I guess there's no point in young people living here anymore. Huh? A little bit of history. Obviously not very pleasant. Well, go humans, yeah. I'll actually leave a translation for that in a couple of languages for those of you interested. So feel free to check it out. Another resident of Papan village. Hello.
Thank you. It's very nice there.
Inside have two house.
Two
Can
house.
walk in.
Can go in? Yes?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. That one on the right, yes?
Now afternoon, the door must open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Welcome inside.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Thank you. You are very kind.
Yes, sir. Maybe you want the house. You can go in.
I can go there.
Yeah, can.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like we found the tour guide of Papan village. Thank you very much, Shushu. Oh, why don't you move? Don't you feel lonely over here?
Here, you can see many person. No.
Uh-huh.
Whole Papan, the person only 100, maybe 100.
Around 100 people only.
Or go out. Here, no working anything also no.
I see.
You can see the small boy.
Mm-hmm.
No, only school children. Here, not many. 4 and 5 children, small boy. All go out.
Uh-huh. So you lived here for 74 years.
Now you see this house,
Uh-huh.
11, only me, 1 person.
So when you need to buy food and stuff
Go
like that,
outside.
you go outside.
Yeah.
You have like a scooter or something.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle. Can I ask you, sir? Say again. What's your name?
Ah,
What is your name?
you someone know me? The name 63.8.
63.
Me.
Okay.
Ah, you can go in.
Where? Here?
Papan Heritage Gallery. Oh, look at the scrolls. Which one is your painting from those ones? Which one is yours?
My friend.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the house. House. Yes, yes, yes. But closed. Not possible to enter inside. Yeah.
So, if I remember correctly, this lady was a nurse during the Second World War, and she was treating wounded soldiers that were fighting. She's considered a heroine over here in Malaysia, and she's actually from here, from Papan. I'm gonna show you her house. It's, I think, at the entrance of the city. We're gonna go there.
Okay, ah?
Yes.
See you.
Thank you.
Say you. How is Uncle not feeling lonely? Like, he's the entire person on the entire street, he said. I cannot even imagine how boring it is for him. So maybe I hope that he's happy to see people like me and my colleague and just like have a chat, because I definitely enjoy. And he seems like a very nice gentleman. Yeah? Is this a bed? I don't think so. Maybe. Oh. It's more comfortable than I was expecting. It's made of bamboo. And I guess this would be the pillow. Bunch of Nippon paint. That's Japanese, I think. Kuan Yin, I think. And I don't know the other one. Those are so cute. Such a waste. The ceramics, they're so beautiful. Beautiful, eh? Thank you very much for having me. Making sure that any potential ghosts don't get mad at me. A lot of history I know nothing about. Earlier, and even here, it was about the resettlement. Now this horror of Simpang Tiga, I actually need to look it up because I'm super curious. See, this is how you find out interesting things. That's how I found out about the issues with Papan and Bukit Merah as well, just randomly. And now that I come over here, I found two more so far. Who knows how many more there are over here. And as promised, this is the house of Sibyl Katigasu. And also I would like to make a small correction. She was not from Papan, she actually is from Sumatra. She relocated here with her husband in 1899, where they ran a small medical clinic. However, they were secretly helping the resistance against the Japanese. She treated wounded guerrillas, supplied medicine, and even listened to banned BBC broadcasts to pass information to the fighters. In 1943, she was arrested and brutally tortured, but refused to betray the fighters. After the war, her courage earned her the George Medal. With the processing plant now working and with the discovery of the disposal site near their town, residents began worrying about unusual illnesses, some of them believing they were increases in cancer, birth defects, and leukemia. And although they linked them to the rare earth plant, establishing direct scientific causation has remained a subject of debate. However, the people of Papan decided they will not remain silent. Together with the residents from nearby communities, they signed a petition that was sent to the Prime Minister at the time, the Health Ministry, and the Science, Technology and Environment Ministry. They blocked the access road to the proposed waste disposal site, and thousands of people, including women and children, participated in a peaceful assembly on 1st and 4th of July 1984, showcasing extraordinary display of unity. The protest in Papan will go on to become one of the earliest and most significant environmental justice movements over here in Malaysia. And thus, the Bukit Merah Acting Committee was created to handle this issue. The first organization to help the committee was the Sahabat Alam Malaysia, who measured the radiation levels at the open space and pool near ARE's factory. According to their findings, some readings were as much as 88 times higher than the recommended upper limit for public exposure, raising even greater concerns among residents. The government then invited a team comprised of members of the UN's International Atomic Energy Agency to assess the situation. They acknowledged shortcomings in the way radioactive waste was being managed and recommended significant improvements to waste handling and storage. Papan residents also invited international experts to perform analysis on the site, with all three of them declaring the site as unsuitable for dangerous waste. The controversy had now grown far beyond the small village in Perak. It had attracted national and international attention. Finally, on the 12th of December 1985, the Deputy Prime Minister at the time showed his concerns by visiting the waste disposal site. A combined meeting headed by him later decided to move the disposal site to the Kledang mountain range, which is 5 kilometers away from Papan. For residents, it was an important victory. But the story was far from over. What followed were even more court battles. ARE filed an appeal to the federal court, which felt ARE's experts were more trustworthy as their research showed that the radiation level was within the permitted range. To summarize the story, in an extraordinary move, several residents actually traveled all the way to Japan to meet senior executives at Mitsubishi Chemicals, one of ARE's largest shareholders. According to accounts of the campaign, they discovered that the appeal had been filed without Mitsubishi's knowledge. So now, Mitsubishi's pressure, combined with growing public concerns in Malaysia and increasing international pressure, the company eventually decided to end its operations. So on 19 January 1994, the Asian Rare Earth officially announced the closure of its Bukit Merah plant. Now, one of Malaysia's largest environmental remediation projects followed, costing more than 300 million ringgit. The cleanup involved removing more than 11,000 truckloads of radioactive material and contaminated soil, which in some places workers had to excavate almost 8 meters deep in order to remove it. ARE also contributed to community assistance through a development fund, while Mitsubishi Chemical reached an out-of-court settlement with the villagers that included a donation of approximately 164,000 US dollars to the local community school. A reminder of how a small community stood up for what it believed in and how its actions changed the country's conversation about environmental responsibility. So, this thing, which looks more like a castle than an actual mansion, it was used as a council hall before, built in 1896. Unfortunately, now lays abandoned as well. And you might find things like those, which are not what you think. I cannot remember from the top of my head what they are, but they are not that. Don't worry. Or are they? Did we just uncover another secret of Papan? But no, it's not. As I say, I'm actually gonna have a look at it and show it to you. But man, such a wonderful building, laying abandoned now. It's really sad. Not only that it's big and beautiful, but look at the wood carvings. Absolutely gorgeous. As I was learning more about Papan, I read some comments from some Malaysian people, because my question, right, was, since there are still people living here, isn't it dangerous for them to actually live next to abandoned houses, right? Because they can collapse, because they are not maintained and stuff like that. And I remember the Malay people mentioning the fact that the government is trying actually to clean and rebuild and all that stuff, but they cannot track a lot of owners of those houses, and without their accord they cannot begin demolitions and stuff like that. Listen, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I read. Which in a way, sure, it makes sense, right? But a lot of houses are damaged and they are falling anyway. Do you really need approval from the owners to get rid of a hazard? It's a bit tricky over here, but yeah, that's why. So guys, researching the story was both fascinating and incredibly challenging. With so many claims, opinions, and conflicting accounts, separating established facts from personal experiences and allegations, it's no easy task, trust me. I've tried my absolute best to present this story as accurately and fairly as possible based on the sources I could find. If you have additional informations or corrections or personal memories of those events, I genuinely love to hear them. So feel free to let me know down in the comments. I had a lot of fun. It's something different for me as well, because I don't typically do those type of documentaries. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.